Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the Baker Act and medications. And so typically when I talk about medications, what I'm talking about is the Baker Act receiving facility wants to medicate your loved one. And we see this a lot, and the family might call us before they've hired us. They might call us after they've hired us about this issue. And what's happening is the facility calls somebody in the family and says, "We would like to give your loved one these medications. Do you consent?" And they call us and say, "What should we do?" And our typical response is, "Well, look, we're not doctors, we're not clinicians, and so we can't tell you whether or not your loved one should be taking these medications. We don't know if it's clinically appropriate. You need to consult with the family's doctor, your loved one's doctor, and find out, is it appropriate? Is it clinically okay? If your loved one is seeing somebody who has been prescribing the medications, then I think that's a conversation you should be having with that person, that clinician." What I can tell you is, from our perspective, is that I'm always a little concerned about that, because what I have seen is facilities that like to take advantage of people, especially when there's health insurance. And what they do is they ask for permission to medicate them, or sometimes they just do it because they don't really care what you think anyway, because, well, I mean, they're an agent of the state's mental health system and they don't need your permission anyway, and they really don't care about what you think, even though this is somebody that you love and care for. They're going to do whatever they want. But the thing is, what I'm concerned about, and I have seen a lot of, is where a facility medicates somebody where it's not clinically appropriate and basically renders the person catatonic. And now they're in a position to say, "Hold on a second, we're trying to stabilize this person, but we can't do it in the 72 hours, so we're going to need more time here. Your Honor, judge, magistrate, would you give us a court order to keep this person for another 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, because we're going to need that much longer, because look at them." And I think about one instance where I actually was hired, my firm was hired to represent a young lady, mid-20s. They gave her a medication. I don't know what it was, or medications. I can't tell you what they were, but what I can tell you is that when I interviewed her over Zoom, I mean, the only way I can describe it is she was bouncing off the walls. At one point, she was calm. The next minute, she was yelling and screaming and couldn't sit still. I mean, what they did to her was shocking and frankly shameful. I can't tell you how almost frightening it was to see what they had done to her. And of course, they were saying, "Look, Judge, she's terrible. We can't possibly let her go." And I was saying, "Look, Judge, look what they've done to her. She shouldn't even be here. And look what they're doing to her." Oh, look, and ultimately we got her out. But the point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to these medical decisions, you should be having a conversation with your medical doctor or whoever the person is that has prescribed these medications, as opposed to relying on the facility that sometimes doesn't have your loved one's best interest at heart. So anyway, I hope that helps you if that's an issue for your family. My personal philosophy is that the minute your loved one gets Baker Acted, you should be fighting to get them out, even if they need help, because there's ways we can deal with that too. But I certainly wouldn't let the state be making decisions for your loved one. They don't know them the best. They certainly don't care about them the most. I'd want to get your loved one the help they need immediately if they need help. And if they don't meet criteria and shouldn't be there, I'm certainly not waiting even a minute to try and get them out. And so with that said, I hope that helps. I would love a thumbs up. I would appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.